What if the key to unstoppable self-discipline came from the wild-haired genius himself? Albert Einstein, known for unraveling the cosmos, also left behind clues for mastering the mind. Today, we're unlocking 5 quotes that can rewire your inner drive completely. Einstein wasn't just a physicist, he was a relentless thinker. Behind every theorem stood a man obsessed with focus, structure, and internal control. The same mental muscles that powered his equations can build your self-discipline, and you don't need to be a genius to use them. He believed in simplicity, but he also believed in mastery through repetition. Discipline for Einstein wasn't about rules, it was about rhythm. In each quote, we'll uncover how he trained his thoughts, filtered distractions, and stayed aligned with his mission. These aren't vague inspirational lines. They're insights sharpened by a lifetime of practice. They emerged in letters, interviews, and reflections, echoes of a mind that saw time, effort, and focus as non-negotiables. His wisdom can be your method. Einstein once said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." What if that includes our struggle with self-discipline? What if we need to upgrade our mindset, not just our habits? This video is a mental laboratory. Each quote is an experiment. Each insight is a formula. And if you pay close attention, you'll find something radical. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about liberation, from chaos, from distraction, from wasted potential. Through Einstein's lens, we'll reframe discipline not as punishment, but as power, as freedom earned through consistency, as clarity gained through constraint. He knew the brain was a tool, and discipline was the handle. By the end, you'll have a toolkit of principles, not tricks or hacks, but Einsteinian truths. They will help you sit longer, think deeper, act faster, and stay focused when others drift. You'll see discipline as Einstein saw it, essential. So let's dive into the genius mind of Albert Einstein. Let's decode the principles that fueled his creativity and consistency. Because once you understand how he thought, you'll never approach discipline the same way again. And don't forget, comment Relentless below if you're ready to absorb Einstein's mindset. Now let's begin our journey through 5 transformative Einstein quotes on self-discipline. Einstein once said, "Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work." Most people admire brilliance, but ignore the grind. This quote strips away excuses. It reminds us, discipline is the engine, talent is just fuel, no repetition, no revelation. That's pure Einstein logic. The 99% isn't just effort, it's structure, routine, and delayed gratification. Cognitive psychologists confirm that consistent effort rewires the brain. Through neuroplasticity, disciplined habits shape neural pathways. Einstein didn't wait for inspiration. He built systems that produced insight predictably. The formula? Controlled persistence over scattered genius. He practiced piano and violin with obsessive regularity. Why? Because repetition deepens focus. According to studies from Harvard, focused practice improves the brain's executive function, the region responsible for impulse control. Einstein cultivated musical discipline to sharpen his thinking discipline. Rhythm wasn't aesthetic, it was cognitive reinforcement. In his own words, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." This is an admission, not humility. Discipline to Einstein was the art of sustained attention. Modern neuroscience supports this. Attention endurance correlates with superior problem solving and working memory. That quote dismantles myths about quick genius. It highlights duration over intensity. By simply staying longer, Einstein trained cognitive stamina. Researchers call this cognitive perseverance, and it's linked to high achievement across fields. He treated the mind like a muscle, not flexed occasionally but exercised daily. Einstein's environment was chaotic, but his internal rhythm was rigorous. He valued silence, structure, and solitude. That's discipline. He once spent hours in quiet walks, replaying equations mentally. Today's productivity gurus call it deep work. Einstein lived it before it had a name. Let's analyze the effect of sustained thinking. Einstein's thought experiments, like chasing a light beam, took years to mature. That wasn't sudden brilliance. It was mental tenacity. Studies show that high-level thinking improves through time on task. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's scientifically indispensable for insight. The reason Einstein could make quantum leaps was because he trusted slow, deliberate progress. His desk was often cluttered, but his focus wasn't. That quote, "Staying longer," is about resisting cognitive restlessness. In a world of noise, his discipline created a mental sanctuary for discovery. Discipline in his world wasn't harsh. It was elegant. Like gravity, it held everything in place. Einstein trained his curiosity to orbit tasks, not escape them. You want to boost your discipline? Start by mastering the art of showing up. That's the first battle. Let's pause here. Reflect on how you approach problems. Do you flee at the first frustration, or stay with them longer? Einstein's life proves the latter is where genius begins. If you reframe struggle as training, every challenge becomes part of your discipline evolution. He also said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." This is the second quote, and a bombshell in the era of overstimulation. Studies now show creativity spikes in low-input environments. Einstein didn't avoid boredom. He weaponized it. Most people run from monotony. Einstein leaned into it. In solitude, he formed ideas that bent time and space. That isn't just poetic, it's biochemical. Brain scans reveal that in idle states, the default mode network activates. That's where creative breakthroughs incubate. Silence isn't absence, it's preparation. His daily walks weren't laziness. They were discipline in disguise. He carved thinking space into his schedule. In today's digital chaos, emulating this is revolutionary. Want more self-discipline? Schedule unstructured time. Let your thoughts roam. That's how ideas consolidate. Einstein knew what neuroscience later proved. He structured silence into habit, not as escape, but as strategy. The modern equivalent? A phone-free hour, a walk without podcasts, a notebook and pen. By resisting constant input, you create internal output. Einstein's discipline wasn't loud. It was methodical, mindful, and mentally enriching. This quote also reframes solitude, not as loneliness, but as laboratory. Self-discipline often fails because we surround ourselves with distractions. Einstein's solitude gave him control over his cognitive inputs. You can replicate this. Simplify your space, control your time, command your attention. Psychologists call this attentional control. It's core to discipline. Einstein's quiet life wasn't unproductive. It was optimized. He knew that noise steals not just time, but clarity. Every quiet hour was an investment in depth. The takeaway? Protect your solitude like your creativity depends on it. It does. This also demystifies introversion. Einstein wasn't antisocial. He was selective. He used solitude to sharpen thoughts before sharing them. Today, solitude can still be your edge. In a world craving instant feedback, delayed response is a form of intellectual power. His embrace of quiet wasn't passive. It was radical. He once said, "I live in that solitude which is painful in youth but delicious in maturity." That's a man who made peace with the process. Discipline is accepting that greatness often grows in silence. So when you're tempted by noise, social media, alerts, chaos, remember Einstein's method. Retreat, reflect, return stronger. Discipline isn't always visible. Sometimes it's a quiet decision to stay still, think deep, and resist the urge to react. Einstein didn't escape the world. He rose above it. This second quote challenges how we perceive focus. It isn't just about attention, it's about environment. Einstein teaches us to curate conditions where discipline thrives. That means fewer inputs, more internal clarity. If you want Einstein-level discipline, start by valuing silence as much as he did. Einstein once warned, "Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters." At first glance, this sounds moral, but it's actually about mental precision. Discipline isn't only action-based, it's cognitive integrity. Precision in thought leads to power in execution. Carelessness breeds chaos. When you let the little things slide, your schedule, your words, your standards, you erode your mental sharpness. Neuroscience shows that micro-decisions shape our self-perception. Every shortcut rewires your brain for sloppiness. Einstein guarded his thinking with fierce discipline. No loose logic allowed. He approached every question, no matter how minor, with exactness. That's not obsessive, it's strategic. Researchers in cognitive science confirm that conscientiousness, one of the big 5 personality traits, strongly predicts achievement. Einstein's quote isn't just ethical advice, it's a call to train precision daily. In your world, that means honoring your time blocks, respecting your own deadlines, being brutally honest in reflection. Discipline isn't dramatic, it's often invisible. A single skipped task may seem small, but according to behavioral science, it primes the brain for future avoidance. Einstein's warning reminds us, small inconsistencies compound. If your morning routine collapses, your focus weakens. If your planning slips, your decision-making wavers. He knew that greatness didn't collapse in big moments, but eroded silently through overlooked habits. The smallest lies are the most dangerous. To him, self-discipline wasn't just about doing work. It was about how you think, how you listen to your own logic, how you maintain integrity in your inner world. Truth wasn't abstract, it was functional. Every distorted thought sabotaged his pursuit of clarity. In modern terms, this is called cognitive consistency. The mind craves alignment. When your actions contradict your values, stress spikes and focus fragments. Einstein lived with deep internal alignment. That's why his focus was so powerful. He wasn't conflicted, he was calibrated. He once revised a theory for over 5 years, not because it was wrong, but because it lacked internal coherence. That's discipline. He'd rather rewrite pages than tolerate inconsistency. Today's attention economy rewards speed. Einstein's brain was wired for depth, not haste. Apply this quote by holding yourself to small truths. Admit when you drift. Track what you delay. Fix what you fudge. Discipline sharpens when you treat tiny details as signals. Einstein's life proves it. Mental clarity comes from micro-integrity, practiced consistently. So ask yourself, where am I being careless? In language? In planning? In focus? Fix that. Discipline doesn't begin with big moves. It begins with the smallest promises you keep to yourself. That's what Einstein meant. That's where your transformation truly begins. Now let's enter the 4th quote. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. At first, it sounds like encouragement. But dig deeper. It's a code for risk tolerance. Discipline isn't rigid safety. It's the courage to fail deliberately. Einstein made bold hypotheses, many of which were wrong. Yet he never saw error as weakness. Studies in educational psychology support this mindset. Those who embrace errors as feedback, not failure, develop what's called a growth mindset. That's the seed of self-disciplined resilience. This quote reshapes how we see progress. Mistakes aren't disruptions, they're requirements. Einstein wasn't addicted to success. He was addicted to inquiry. And that's the essence of scientific thinking. Test, fail, learn, repeat. Self-discipline is the willingness to cycle through uncertainty without quitting. He worked on general relativity for over a decade, scrapping versions, correcting logic, enduring ridicule. That's what this quote encodes. Discipline means not quitting at discomfort. The brain needs challenge to grow. Mistakes stimulate learning. The disciplined mind welcomes friction. It transforms it. This mindset is echoed in neuroscience. Mistakes trigger a specific brain signal, the error-related negativity, ERN, which activates learning circuits. Einstein's genius was partly his relationship to error. He didn't fear the ERN. He invited it. Each mistake was a cognitive upgrade. To apply this, embrace mistakes as checkpoints. Don't hide them. Study them. Einstein's notebooks were full of crossed-out equations. That wasn't failure. That was refinement. His discipline was recursive. Try, fail, edit, repeat. That loop built mastery, not self-doubt. In your life, that means journaling what failed, reviewing what confused you, asking, what did this mistake reveal? Discipline isn't just moving forward, it's decoding feedback loops. Einstein's mindset transformed errors from threats into maps. That's how his theories evolved. So can yours. Let this quote strip your perfectionism. Mistakes aren't moral flaws, they're data. And disciplined minds treat data with respect. Einstein teaches us that the most consistent performers aren't error-free, they're error-adaptive. They don't avoid failure, they harvest it. That's the secret rhythm of mastery. Remember, the disciplined brain isn't just focused, it's flexible. It accepts that wrong turns lead to better maps. Einstein didn't panic at errors. He tracked them. He studied them. He grew stronger through them. Self-discipline is sticking with the process, even when it stings. So the next time you falter, recall this quote. Remind yourself, I am not failing. I am learning what doesn't work. That mindset is discipline at its finest. Not stoic suffering, but curious persistence. Einstein lived it. And now, so can you. Einstein didn't just unlock the universe, he unlocked human potential. These 5 quotes aren't just inspirational, they're instructional. Each one holds a blueprint for a sharper, stronger, more focused version of you. Self-discipline isn't a punishment, it's how brilliance takes root. You've seen that talent isn't enough. Genius is built on consistency, honesty, solitude, courage, and resilience. Einstein lived these truths relentlessly. The same mindset that solved relativity can help you manage distractions, fears, and doubts. Self-mastery is the greatest equation you'll ever solve. Discipline isn't loud. It's the quiet decision to stay, to think, to improve. When Einstein stayed longer with problems, he wasn't chasing glory. He was honoring the process. That same mindset can anchor your goals, deepen your focus, and sharpen your progress. In a world obsessed with shortcuts, Einstein reminds us, it's the long game that counts. Each step you take in discipline builds momentum. Each moment of solitude strengthens clarity. Every mistake embraced fuels your growth. This isn't motivational fluff. It's neurological, logical, proven. Use your mind like Einstein used his, with care, intention, and truth. Protect your silence. Guard your routines. Question everything, but never your capacity to grow. Your mind isn't a fixed object. It's an expanding frontier. Discipline is your compass through that unknown. You now hold 5 powerful principles. Don't let them sit in theory. Apply one today. Stay with a task longer. Embrace a mistake. Simplify your inputs. Commit to one small truth. Like Einstein said, greatness lives in the invisible choices we repeat. Imagine what would happen if you lived this way for a week, a month, a year. That's not fantasy. That's physics. Consistent energy over time creates motion. Einstein didn't work harder. He worked deeper. His legacy proves that depth beats speed every time, so what now? You act. Pick your quote, write it, post it, use it. Let it frame your decisions, let it challenge your habits, and most of all, let it remind you that even the greatest minds struggled, failed, and persisted. If Einstein rewrote the universe with disciplined thought, imagine what you can rewrite in your life. Every time you choose focus over chaos, you echo his legacy. You don't need to be Einstein to think like him. You just need to begin. If this video sparks something in you, subscribe, like, and share it. Leave a comment with the word relentless to show you're on this path. Let's make discipline contagious. Let's think deeper, act sharper, and live with Einstein-level intention, starting now.